Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. This is going to be a market prep vlog. So today is Friday. I have my first market of the year, not this coming Sunday, but the one after. So I have 8 days to get prepared for it, which hopefully, if I am diligent with my time and stay focused, will be plenty of time. So yeah, it is currently 2 p.m. I have been awake since 2 a.m. I had my alarm set for 4. Like 4 or 5 is usually when I wake up to get started working, because I like to work as much as I can while my kids are asleep. But I woke up at 2 and just could not go back to sleep, so I've been working since 3 a.m. Took a little break, starting to like hit a slump. But I want to go ahead and get some fabric cut. I've already started. So yeah, let me, I guess, just give you a little insight as to my thoughts on this coming market. So this market is going to be in Northwest Arkansas. It's in Fayetteville, I believe. And it's supposed to be a big one. It's called the Big One Market, and they're advertising over 300 vendors, which is crazy. That is like by far the largest one I've done. However, they are still advertising that they have vendor spots available. So I don't know if 300 is how many there will be if they fill all their spots or what. So hopefully it's a good one. That is like a little over an hour away from me. And they had different, like it's at fairgrounds, and they had different locations in the grounds for where you could rent booths. I got one that is under like an open pavilion. So I don't think I need to bring my tent. I actually need to ask because sometimes they want you to have walls. But yeah, should be good. I went back and forth for a really long time on whether I wanted to do markets this season or not. I told myself I was just going to focus on like my online presence with my business, and I have not done that at all. So guess I'm doing markets. So I also went back and forth on what I wanted to offer at these markets. If you've watched my last videos, you know that at the end of last market season, I was so over doing the quilted stuff. But spoiler alert, that is what I'm coming back with this year because it's what sells. It's what's popular right now. And now that I've taken a bit of a break from it, I don't resent it as much. I don't feel as burnt out. So I'm going to do Kindle sleeves, book sleeves, makeup bags again. However, I'm changing things up a bit. So I've been doing Kindle sleeves for, 2 years now. Book sleeves for about a year and a half. Makeup bags I started at the beginning of last market season, so about a year. And I want to like upgrade from like what I've already done. I want to, I don't know, just like improve my own products, but also Kindle cases, book sleeves, makeup bags are just so popular right now. I actually applied to a really big market in Tulsa and didn't get in because they already had vendors selling the same stuff that I was, which sucks. So yeah, I'm gonna spice things up a bit. So I'm doing a different style of makeup bags. I'm gonna keep the boxy pouches, but I'm also going to do like a vanity bag. And then for the Kindle sleeves and book sleeves, I'm going to be doing a zippered pocket, which I feel like not a lot of people do. I've also ordered like a higher quality zipper than what I used to use. It's what other people use, but it'll be an improvement for me. And I'm doing some zipper charms. So yeah, I'm also going to do a hair tools bag. So in the same family as like the makeup bags, but long and skinny for hair tools. That'll be new for me. I'm going to also do zipper pouches, which I've always done, but I'm going to make them a little fancier. I'm doing sunglass pouches, um, but this time I'm going to do a zip closure instead of a snap. Something new for me is keychain wristlets. I know those are a really popular product for market vendors and handmade online businesses. I've never done them before just because that's not something that I have felt like I needed to use personally. So it's not something that like resonated with me, and because of that, I just didn't want to make it. However, I just saw recently like ones that look like scrunchies, and I don't know, I'm just vibing with those. I want one. So I'm going to make a few of those. I'm going to do fabric bookmarks again, but so last season I had fabric bookmarks, and then the customer could, like at markets, could choose a tassel to add to it. And it was like 50-50 on whether people added a tassel or didn't. So I think this year I'm just going to add a ribbon into all the bookmarks. That seems to be like what a lot of people do. So I'm going to try adding a ribbon and see how that goes. I may do some tote bags. I still have a few left from last market season that I haven't sold. They're on my Etsy, but they haven't sold. So I'm going to take those. I may make a few more, just kind of depending on my fabric situation, because tote bags use a lot of fabric. In that same vein, I may also take some of my like kids stuff. So I started out as like a full-on kids shop, and then when I started doing markets last year, switched to the quilted stuff. It's so crazy because I took all of my kids stuff and quilted stuff to markets, and I have all of my kids stuff and quilted stuff online. At markets, pretty much only quilted stuff sold, and online, pretty much only kids stuff sells. So that's a little interesting. But yeah, I may take some stuff to markets. The things that always sold at markets, if I had them, were my quilted fairy wings and my baby doll beds and diaper bags. So I may take those. The only issue with those is they're hard to display and they take up a lot of space, and I have a tiny cart. So I have to be really mindful on what I'm making and how it needs to be displayed. So that's TBD. TBD on the doll accessories and the tote bags. Then I'm also going to make some crowns and wands, which is primarily what sells on my Etsy shop. I just had like 6 orders go out this morning of just crowns and wands. That's pretty much all I've sold all year. It's been super slow online this year. I've sold like a couple book sleeves and then just crowns and wands. So I'm going to make some and take those to the market. However, I am prepared for them to ask me to put them away because I did not include those in the items that I offered in my booth. And they are a venue that only wants you to sell what you submit. So I am prepared for them to maybe ask me to take those back if there's someone, that is already selling those. However, that'll be okay because I know that they're going to sell online. So it's not going to be like wasted time if I make them for this market and then I'm not able to sell them there. So, also, I cannot take myself seriously right now. The like no makeup but with lip gloss look. I think I need to go wipe this off because it's freaking me out. But yeah, so that is what I'm going to have at this market. So what I need to do, my to-do list for this next week, is obviously sew the stuff. I have a couple things over here left from last market season. I have some book sleeves, some Kindle cases, a couple makeup bags, a couple zip pouches, a couple sunglass cases. Pretty much all of those are changing. So I'm still going to take those, but maybe like discount them, or I don't know, they'll be in their own separate section. So yeah, this week I need to make some new tags for all of my stuff. I'm pretty much out of like my sew-in tags. I still have some things I need to order. So this morning I put an order in for zippers, the keychain wristlet hardware. I can't remember what else I ordered, but I still need to order, I need another tablecloth because I'm going to be doing 3 tables. Last season I did 2 tables and a clothes rack. But this season I'm going to be doing 3 tables, so I need another table. Need a table and a tablecloth. And just like some miscellaneous things like that. I need some more bags, like shopping bags. I need to figure out my setup. I need to figure out displays because I have some new products, so I need to figure out how I'm going to display those. Okay, it's been a minute. My kids needed some attention. So I have absolutely no idea where I left off. But yeah, those are the things that are on my to-do list for the week. And then just like general market prep, like charge my card reader, get cash, all that type of stuff. So what I'm doing now is cutting fabric for book sleeves. So I'm doing things a little differently this go around. Typically I would take one fabric and then cut all of my stuff that I was going to make with that fabric out at once. This time I'm cutting fabric by product. So right now I'm doing all of my book sleeves. So I'm doing the front and back panels to be quilted, and then I'm doing some with zip pockets and then some just like my regular pockets that don't have a closure. So yeah, I have my large ones, which are for like hardcovers, and then medium, which is for like larger paperbacks. And yeah, oh, I had to go to Walmart earlier to get more shipping boxes, and they had this fabric. They had it discounted for $4 a yard, and they only had this 1 yard, but I love it. I did hit up the Joann sale. My Joann just started actually marking fabric down. Like it's been at 20% this whole time, and they just started actually marking down this week. And they marked down pretty much like the rest of the fabric store wide was marked down to 60% off, and then they did if you buy the remainder of the bolt, you got an additional 50% off. After I saw that, I waited a day to go, and I'm not kidding you, the store was wiped out. I mean, just like nothing left. Absolutely no solid fabric left. Still had a ton of fleece, a ton of fleece. Had some quilt cotton, but not a ton, so I just got what I could. I bought like, I think I got like 20 yards of fabric for $31, which is insane. Yeah, I probably honestly should have gotten more, but I had absolutely no idea where I was total wise because stuff was in all different sections. Like different bolts of the same fabric were in different sections and under different sell signs. So that was already hard to determine like what the price of something was, but then also I was buying bolts, so it was an additional 50% off. So I didn't know if I was about to spend $50 or $100. So I was like, all right, well, I'll stop there. And then went and checked. I was planning on spending like $75 to $100. Went and checked out, and it was $31. So I definitely should have gotten more, but my toddler was with me and she was ready to go. So, anyways, I'm about to finish cutting fabric. I'm doing like 2 to 4 book sleeves in various different fabrics, kind of just depending on how much fabric I have. How I'm anticipating it doing. I don't anticipate on selling out at this craft show. I've never sold out of anything, but I am doing other markets. So, obviously, whatever doesn't sell, I'll just bring to my next market. So, yeah, I'm going to get all the fabric cut and then maybe also all of my batting cut. I don't know if I'll start quilting today. It is now 3:30. So probably not, but I would at least like to get all of my fabric cut. So yeah, let's do that. Also, I laminated all of my pattern pieces, so I just make my own patterns for most things. And I usually would just cut them out of cardstock, but I got a laminator and spent hours and hours one night making new patterns because mine were so beat up, and then laminating them, and it is nice, so I'm not gonna lie. However, I did purchase some patterns, so I had to print all those and then cut all of the pattern pieces out and then laminate them and then cut them out again, which I'm not kidding you, it took hours and hours, but they're so nice, they're so much more durable. And yeah, if you have a laminator, maybe consider laminating your pattern pieces. Okay, I'm going to stop talking and start cutting fabric. This fabric is one that I wish I would have gotten more of from Joann. I just got the 2-yard minimum. I thought it was cute, like the croissants and the jam. I don't know, something, I feel like it needs a little more contrast or something. I don't know. I didn't like love it, but thought it was cute. But then after I got it home, I was like, no, this is cute. I should have gotten more. So I think I may just do 2 of each for the book sleeves so that I have enough left for makeup bags. So I just have my fabric folded in half and then folded again so that I'm cutting out four different panels to make 2 of each book sleeve. So I literally just changed my rotary blade and I feel like it's already dull. Okay, so there's 2 large book sleeves. And I'm cutting all my pieces larger because this is like my finished dimensions and I'm gonna quilt it. So cut it larger so that I can cut down my quilted panels to size. I really like this system I have going here. I have like an assembly line behind me of like all my piles of ones that I've cut, and then I cut one and then just add it to that pile. So on the medium book sleeves, what I've been doing is folding it in half. Because it's a little wider than I need it to be. So I've been doing that and then trimming down from this folded edge here. Because that is big enough for zipper tabs. So just have all those in a little pile. Here's some fabrics that I already had on hand that I think I'm gonna use. I bought this gingham to make myself some dining chair cushions. But I guess I can spare some for this. And then I have this purple gingham. And then this floral. So yeah, I think I'm gonna use some of these, and then I just have a couple of the new fabrics I got, and that's really all I have. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day. It is exactly 5 a.m. I got in the studio at 4. I had an order come in overnight, so I wanted to go ahead and get that made. I'm gonna really try to stay on top of my online orders throughout this week so that I don't accidentally sell it at the market because I am working with some, actually like a lot of out of stock stuff because a lot of it came from Joann. So went ahead and got that made, packaged up. It is Saturday, but I have a post office near me that is open until 10:30 a.m. on Saturdays. So when they open, I'll go ahead and just go drop it off, so don't have to worry about that. So last night I finished cutting all of the fabric for the book sleeves. May have done too much. I counted and I have 20 in the size large, and I counted 21 for the medium, but I thought I did more in the medium than the large than that, so I may have miscounted. But yeah, at least 41 book sleeves, which is crazy. I don't need that many. Like I said, I have 8 days to prep for this market, so I'm just going to get done as much as I can to kind of hopefully set myself up for the rest of the season. So what I need to do now is, actually, I think I'm going to make myself a little schedule for the week, because I was laying in bed last night and realized that I actually have a crazy busy week next week. I have appointments on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So I won't be able to work like pretty much at all on Wednesday and Thursday unless there's stuff that I can take in the car with me. So I'm going to make myself a little schedule just to help give me an idea of what I should be aiming for each day. Also, I woke up this morning super congested, throat's itchy, my ears are itchy, and I'm really hoping it's just allergies, because Lord knows I cannot afford to be sick right now. So yeah, I'm going to make myself a little schedule, and then I need to start cutting the batting for all of the book sleeves, which is probably my least favorite part of this entire process. I don't know what it is about the batting, but I think it's because it's just so cumbersome. It's on such a huge roll, and I almost always have to take it just like out in the middle of my house so I can lay it out and cut it that way. Also don't like the way it feels. So yeah, that is the plan. Schedule, then batting. Okay, it is now 5:50. I just finished cutting all of the batting that I'm going to do for now, so I need more. I only have a little bit left. Like, I would have used all of the batting I had if I cut enough for all of the book sleeves. So I cut enough to do 20, which, to be fair, is plenty for this market. So yeah, I guess I'll do like 10 large book sleeves and 10 mediums for now, and then I'm about to order more batting right now. So, or I'm gonna see if I can make sure it'll come in on time, which is unfortunate. The thing about buying like in such large quantities, like obviously you get a better deal the larger quantity you buy, but I just don't have room for it. Like, I'm looking at 20-yard bolts of batting, 30-yard bolts, and I usually get like 9 or 10-yard bolts, and they're huge. So, definitely can't do that. I guess I'll just get another 9-yard bolt. Let's see. Man, it wouldn't get here until April 23rd. The market is the 27th. That is unfortunate. Alright, I'm gonna shop around here and try to find something that could get here faster. Because if not, then I don't know what to do. Okay, here's my plan. I'm going to try to get to Hobby Lobby today to see what they have in terms of batting, and then if they have something that will work, go back on Monday. So today's Saturday, so I'll go back on Monday when it's 40% off and buy what I need. If they don't have anything in store, then I'm just gonna have to order it and hope for the best time-wise. That is very unfortunate. Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, the real life implications of Joann going out of business for those of us in rural areas. So what I'm going to do right now is start basting my batting onto my book sleeve fabric, and I guess I need to pick out, so I have 20 sets of batting cut, so I guess I need to pick out what book sleeves I'm going to do, because I don't want to do, I'm going to turn it down. So like I was saying before my phone came crashing down, I don't want to do multiples of each print if I don't have enough batting for that, obviously. So I'm just going to separate out one of each, and then we'll see what that leaves me with. So I would like to say, in my experience, the medium-sized book sleeves sold better, but that is also what I always had the most of. And I did get asked for larges, so maybe they would have sold if I had them. Okay, so there's 10 prints in the medium. I only have 9 individual prints in the large. So I guess I could do 2. Maybe I'll do an extra one in the mediums. Maybe the croissant. Okay, so now I need to find the match. So these are the pocket panels, so I need to find the matching front and back panels for all of these. Good morning, everyone. It is now Monday at 4:59 a.m. I just rolled out of bed and I'm about to start sewing. So by this point, I had planned on having all of the book sleeve panels quilted, and I am about a quarter of the way through them. I did not get much done this weekend. On Saturday, my dad ended up coming over, and then yesterday was Easter. Saturday is when I finished getting all of this cut, and then I think I told you guys I'd planned on quilting some throughout the day, and that just didn't happen. So yesterday I got all of the pocket panels and about half of the outer panels for the medium-sized book sleeves done, and I still have to do all of the large size. So I'm about to turn the lights down, put some music on, and just start sewing. And I'm just gonna do all that, and I'm just gonna keep doing that until my kids wake up, and then finish it all later. But I did get my zippers in yesterday. So this was my first time ordering zipper tape by the yard. In the past, I've always just bought like pre-cut zippers. So I got 2. Can't remember how many yards these are. I'll put it on the screen here, but I got 2 different variations. I just got it in ivory. When I was ordering this, I had no idea like what fabrics I was even going to be using, so figured ivory would work on a lot of the stuff. And I do still have a ton of black zippers and have some few like one-off colored zippers. So I just got ivory, and then I got it with gold hardware and silver. So yeah, these are, I don't know, the zipper pulls look a little nicer than what I've used in the past. Let me take one out and show you. I wanted one specifically that not only looked nicer for the makeup bags, but also that had a bigger hole in the zipper pull. So like that opening is a lot bigger than what I've used in the past, because I want to add, I bought a bunch of charms. Let me show you. These are just the two sets I have sitting right here, but I bought several. So I bought like these fruit charms. I have some fruit themed fabric, and then these are all just, I don't know, just like girly, romantic kind of coquette charms. There's like some bows and some flowers and some pearls and some hearts. So I want to add these to the zippers on at least the makeup bags, maybe even the Kindle cases. Again, I'm just trying to think of ways to elevate my stuff from last season. So yeah, that's why I wanted to get the larger zipper pulls. However, these would fit on my old zippers that don't have the large pulls. But I also considered adding maybe like bows or something for the zipper pulls on the makeup bags. So anyways, that's why I got those. I have no idea how far this is gonna go with what I'm making. Like I said, when I was ordering, I didn't even know like what fabrics I was going to be using. I didn't know what I was making yet, or how much zipper I needed for a lot of stuff. I don't know. We'll see how far this takes me, and then I can always just use the rest of my like pre-cut zips. Alright, I think that is the only thing I have to say, other than I don't think I've vlogged since I got my hair cut. And I got it cut a few weeks ago in March, and I'm finally figuring out how to cut it or how to style it. It was like down to here and just all one length. And yeah, it was just so flat. I loved the length. I love having long hair, but my hair isn't thick enough to like keep the length and put a bunch of layers in. So I cut it and it feels so good, and I'm finally figuring out how to style it. I cannot believe I literally rolled out of bed and my hair looks like this. I didn't do it in any type of like style, like protective style while I slept. Okay. Anyways, I'm about to put all this stuff up, turn the lights down, and start sewing. Also, a quick update. I did not get to Hobby Lobby on Saturday like I had intended to check out their batting situation. I did look online, and it seems like they have, as long as it's in stock at the store that's by me, it seems like they have some that I can use. So I'm going to go over there this morning and see what they have. God, I'm not awake yet. Yeah, I guess that's all I was going to say on that. Also need to get some more thread, I believe. I think I'm going to run out before this is all said and done. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned my extension table yet that I got for my, I have the Singer Heavy Duty. I just got this extension table off of Amazon. It was literally $35. I've been thinking, I've had this for almost 3 years, I think, this sewing machine for almost 3 years, and I've been thinking since then, or definitely since I started quilting, how nice it would be to have an extension table. Like, that's specifically why I've been wanting to upgrade my machine to like a semi-industrial, was just for the extension table. And then one day I was like, actually, I wonder if they have those for mine. And I just Googled Singer Heavy Duty Extension Table. $35 on Amazon. And it has been such a game changer. I don't know how I even sewed stuff before without it. I do still want to upgrade though. I would love to have a machine with a knee lift, automatic thread cutter. Those two things specifically would make quilting so much faster. Alright, I'm just going to keep trucking on, and I'll check in with you guys in a bit. so insane, but my tripod is already packed up in the car. So it is market day. This is going to be a huge time jump for you because all of my clips over the past few days are just gone. I have no idea what happened to them. But yeah, it is market day. It is like 4:30-ish, 4:40 in the morning. I am very tired. I was only gonna get like 5 hours of sleep, and I woke up an hour before my alarm and could not go back to sleep. But that ended up working out because as I was laying there, I realized I never made any pricing signs. So that's what I've been doing, and now I need to get out the door. So just to catch you up on the past week, pretty much nothing went as planned. So I was gonna have this whole week to like be on top of stuff, get so much stuff made, and yeah, it was just like one thing after another all week long, including but not limited to a car wreck and a stomach bug. So to just be completely honest with you, my booth is gonna be kind of empty. So my goal is to try to make it look not as empty. I like went back and forth all day long yesterday on whether I even wanted to go, but I've already paid, and like, I don't know, I might as well. I was already planning on it. So what I'm thinking for setup, I'm pretty sure I'm on a corner. So I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of doing like a U-shaped walk-in booth, I'm just gonna do a table lining the walkway edge of my booth and then a table across the front, so I have an L, and then just set everything up on those two tables. And I'm hoping that will make me look not so empty. So I'm going to be bringing book sleeves. I did finish all of the new book sleeves that I wanted to. So I have 2 sizes of book sleeves, and then some Kindle cases. I didn't make any new Kindle cases. I like have all the fabric prepped and ready to go. Just literally did not have time to sew them together. But I do still have some left over from last market season. And I did end up making some tablet cases. So I have, I think, 5 of those. And then I have 2 sizes of makeup bags. I didn't get to make any new makeup bags. Actually, I did. I made literally just one, but it is like a new pattern, a new style. And I didn't want to just bring one that looks different than all the rest. So I made my makeup bags really cheap for this market, or cheaper than what I would normally sell them at, to just try to get rid of them so that next market I can use my new pattern. And again, with those, like the Kindle sleeves, all the fabric is cut out and quilted and ready to go. I just did not have time to actually construct the bags. So I also have a few tote bags, a few pencil pouches, a few sunglass pouches, a few bookmarks. I think that's it. I did end up bringing my kids' dress-up capes. I wasn't going to, but I just need stuff in my booth. So I'm bringing those and some princess crowns. So those I have to actually finish cutting out once we get there. I have them like sewed together, but I need to like trim them up and stuff. Which is alright, that'll give me something to do while I just sit there. And I think that's it. I think that's all I have. And I don't have much of any of it other than book sleeves. So I'm going in with low expectations, just based off of my inventory and the transfer ring. But yeah, I'm gonna finish getting ready. It takes an hour to get there. I need to be there at 6:30, so I'm gonna try to get out of here at 5:30. The car's already loaded up. All I have to do is grab the rest of my stuff that's inside and head out. We are on our way. I left the house right at 5:30, so yay for me. Okay, it is about 7 o'clock. I have gotten all of my stuff dumped in the booth and parked. Now I'm about to walk back and start setting up. Guys, it's raining and has been raining. I'm under a patio, and like the back end of my booth is screened in, but like the rain's just been blowing through it and the ground is wet and I've already dropped something. And also I thought I was at the end, like the way that they had the map set up, it looked like I was on like an open end, but I'm against a wall just leading into the next building, so my L shape isn't going to work, so I'm gonna have to figure something else out. But yeah, let's go get set up. Okay, again with the amazing angles. So I have not gotten to check in a single time this entire craft show. I haven't had phone service, so it has been like killing my battery, my phone constantly looking for service and then having to use it because I use my phone to accept payments. So I've been trying to conserve battery. I've already gone through 2 external like battery chargers. But this has been such a slow market. I'm actually really disappointed based on just how it was advertised and what I was expecting. Like I said earlier, I knew that there was a chance for rain, and it did rain earlier in the morning, but it has stopped, or it stopped around, like stopped completely around like 11, and it warmed up, and it's been a great day. But there's just no one. It's supposed to end at 6. Other vendors have been packing up since 4:30. It is now 5 o'clock, and I'm about to pack up as well because there's literally no one here. I just took a lap. This place is really big. Vendors are all spread out. I just took a lap, and there's no one here. So yeah, I'm about to pack up. We're ending the day with 20 cells. So honestly, it wasn't a terrible day. I made back my booth fee. I bought a lot of new stuff for this market, like new displays and just like equipment and stuff for the market. And I've covered all those costs. I've turned a profit. So it wasn't a total waste. It was just not what I was expecting. But anyways, I'm getting out of here an hour early apparently. And I'm about to just start packing up. Before I pack up, I just wanted to do another overhaul of the booth. I sold a few of these. I sold a few of these, a few of these. I sold like 2 or 3 capes. I didn't sell any tote bags. I think I only sold 1 make it bag, maybe 2. I sold a couple sunglass cases. I think just 1 zipper pouch. The big seller for the day was definitely book sleeves. I sold quite a few of book sleeves. I only sold like 1 Kindle case maybe. Didn't sell any bookmarks, didn't sell any tablet cases. But yeah, this is what the booth ended up looking like. I was influenced by XOXO Charlie, like a lot of people were, to get these like tabletop bookshelves for the book sleeves, and they work perfectly. These this is like just slightly more durable than like foam poster board. I feel like if I pressed hard enough, I could dent this with my fingernail. But I feel like it's perfect for this because it breaks down. Like I take all this apart and it's super lightweight. So it's easy to pack, easy to store, it's not heavy. And I feel like these look great. I want to get another one. I'm trying to get away from having stuff just in baskets. I feel like with these clear baskets, it doesn't look bad, but it's not great. This is like a file folder. This is a file folder organizer, and it was not good for the tablet cases. They just keep flopping over. So I need something else for those. I really want to get rid of the cubes for the make it bags. It's just too big. You can like not see me over it. And yeah, that's where we're at. Let's start packing up. Hello everyone, it is time to wrap this market vlog up. So it is now Tuesday. The market was on Sunday. Yesterday I just had to do life stuff. Get caught up on laundry, clean house, take my Easter decorations down, that kind of stuff. Today I started back on market prep for my next market, which is this coming weekend. That'll be a different video. So let's recap this market. This was the Northwest Arkansas Makers Spring Big One event, Big One Market. It was at the Washington County Fairgrounds in Fayetteville, Arkansas. The booth, they had different like locations within the fairgrounds where you could get spots. The booth that I got was $85. And yeah, so some stats. I had exactly 20 sales. My top seller was the medium-sized book sleeves. So book sleeves that fit up to like large paperbacks. I sold 6 of those. My second best seller were my kids' play crowns. And then after that, there was no obvious third place. I just sold like a couple of various other items. So book sleeves and then play crowns. It does not help me at all in trying to decide whether I should stick with my quilted goods or my kids' goods because they pretty much sold evenly. Yeah, so overall thoughts. It was a very just like mid market. Like it wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. I will say from what I was expecting, I didn't do as well as I thought I would. So this had such good advertisement. That's something that I don't even know what you would call them, like the organization that was hosting it did really great at. They were really active on social media. They were going on like local news stations and radio stations advertising it. They gave vendors an opportunity to like loan them some of your products and then they would advertise those like on news stations. I live an hour away, so I didn't want to drive up there just to do that. But they advertised as having over 300 vendors, and honestly, I don't know how many there were. I didn't get a chance to walk around. Like I said, there were like a bunch of different locations for vendors. I will say, in the place that I was, dead. I mean, I don't know if I was just in a terrible spot or what, but not only like was foot traffic from like people visiting the market dead, but there were so many vendor spots open in the like hall that I was in. So people just like didn't show up and I don't know why. But we were probably at like half of the amount of vendors there in my spot that there were supposed to be, which was obvious because we were all like spread out, you know. I will say I probably did have the worst spot in that hall because the way that the foot traffic flowed, people were walking in this direction, and there was like a wall, and I was right here up against this wall, but the spot in front of me and the spot across from it were empty, so it looked like vendors started like 2 spots down from me. And I'm not exaggerating, the majority of people walked in and never even like saw me. Like their eyes were just facing forward, like they had no reason to think maybe there's someone over here. So there were so many people. I ended up just like going and kind of standing at the end of my booth so that more people would like look in my direction. So yeah, it sucked. I should have just scooted over to the empty spot beside me, but it had been raining and my booth was so muddy and so wet, and that one was even worse. So I didn't want to do that. And yeah, the forecast was calling for rain like all week. So the host did give the outside, I would think I was considered an outside. I don't think I was considered outdoor, but I was under like an open patio. So they were giving us the opportunity to move to some open spots inside. You did have to pay the higher price, and also it makes me think that if like there were that many spots open for people to move inside, then they didn't have as many vendors as they thought they were going to, maybe. Also, I'll insert a picture here. So this was at Fairgrounds, keep in mind. So there was a big like arena, like dirt floor arena where they would do, I don't know, like rodeo livestock stuff. And then I was in where like what is it called? I don't know, we call them lots, but I don't know what they're supposed to be, like where you would keep the animals. So like I was I was on asphalt, but the other half of where I was just like dirt and pellets and stuff, like where animals stay. So in the arena, which is like a huge spot, there were maybe 6 vendors set up in there, and they were all just like on the perimeter. The whole thing was open, and I only walked through there because you had to walk through there to go around the outside of the building to go to the bathroom. So I made that trip twice, and both times it was like a freaking ghost town. I'll show you. So this picture is standing in the arena looking down in the like hallway where I was. You can't even see my booth from the door. But yeah, this was like peak market time, like when people should have been there. Like this was after church. This was probably at like 3 o'clock. So yeah, I don't know what the deal was. I don't know if the rest of the market was popping and I just got a really shitty spot, or if just like so many vendors bailed because it was supposed to rain. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's because it was a Sunday market. It was the first one I'd ever done that was like just on a Sunday. So yeah, it was so bad. The market was supposed to go at 6. The place was closed down by 5. People started packing up at like 4:30 in my hallway especially. And like packing up early is a big no-no. Hosts do not like when you do that, which I understand. But it was so freaking dead. I mean, there was like no one past like 3:30. We're supposed to stay until 6, so I was like completely loaded up, pulling out of the parking lot by 6 o'clock. So yeah, mid market did not meet my expectations, but whatever. I mean, I made more money doing it than I would have not doing it, you know. So I was able to cover my booth fee, all of the extra stuff I bought to do markets this season, because I had to buy just like miscellaneous stuff, like stuff to make some new products. Had to get a new tablecloth, like some new displays, just new business cards, stuff like that. So I was able to cover all of those costs, plus my booth fee for the market this weekend. So yeah, better than nothing. I did not realize that the market I'm doing this weekend is in the exact same location. It's by different hosts, but it is at the Washington County Fairgrounds again. So I guess this will be a test to see if it's just a bad spot or if this was a fluke. But this market is going to be on a Friday and Saturday, as opposed to Sunday. So we'll see. Fingers crossed that it goes a little better. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for this vlog. Sorry, half of it was gone. I still have absolutely no idea where the footage went. But yeah, I'm about to get started on this next round of market prep. So if you want to see that video when it comes out, be sure to subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, something you'd like to chat about, leave a comment. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!